What's up, YouTube? Thank you for clicking on this video. If this is your first time to my channel, then welcome. My name is Lynette and I am a certified personal trainer. The majority of the stuff that I post on this channel is gonna be fitness related, diet, nutrition, lifestyle, sometimes beauty. I have a couple of really cute cats. Come here. Speaking of which, so as I said in the title of this vlog, the purpose of this video is to give you reasons why you bloat that you may not know of. Things that you eat, things that you do that could be causing bloating that you're dealing with. We're also gonna touch a little bit on digestion and like stuff that affects that. So yes, I have to obviously preface this with the fact that I'm not a doctor, I am not a registered dietitian, I'm not any of the professionals who probably should be giving this kind of advice, but I have worked with hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 or more personal training clients one-on-one who have given me feedback on what has caused bloating for them. I know myself, I've dealt with bloating and like indigestion and different stomach issues in the past, and I've done so much research and talked with a GI doctor many times about what causes bloating, what we can do to kind of remedy that, and also just the little things that we don't realize cause bloating for us. And before taking anything that I say to heart or trying to do anything that I suggest for you today, I do suggest talking it over with your own doctor or your nutritionist or whatever and seeing if it's right for you. Also, the list of stuff I'm going to give today is not a complete list. It's not the only things that can cause bloating. I'm sure there's plenty of other things that could be causing bloating in your life, and if your bloating is like consistent and painful, then I don't think it's anything that I'm talking about today. It's probably something that you should talk to your doctor about. So let's just hop right in. All right, so I'm going to start from top to bottom, like the most likely cause of your bloating down to like the possibly lesser reasons that you could be bloating. So the first reason that I have found with my clients as to the reason why they're bloating is that they're not drinking enough water. Depending where you look online, someone's going to give you a different amount of water that you should be drinking. Some people say you should be drinking 8 cups a day, others say you should be drinking a gallon of water a day, and others yet say 1 ounce per lean body mass or something like that. In general, I think it's safe to say that if you drink a gallon of water a day, you're good, or anywhere close to that. If you're more of an athletic person, you may need more water than that, but a lot of people are like nowhere near even half a gallon. Most people don't even find that they get to 8 cups of water a day. So if you're finding that you're bloating, it could be because you're not drinking enough water, because when you don't drink enough water, your body retains water and it's going to make you feel puffy. So that's the first reason. Another reason why you might be bloating is because you're not getting enough sleep. If your body's not getting enough sleep, then your body is stressed. Also, if your body is not getting enough sleep, it's not doing all the stuff that your body does while you're asleep to kind of like continue to flush you out. Your body is so stressed when you're not getting enough sleep that it will also retain water because of that stress, which kind of leads me into my third reason, which is just stress in general, whether it's physical stress, there's my cat, what's up? Whether it's physical stress or mental, emotional stress, any kind of stress on the body can cause cortisol levels to rise. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and when that stress hormone is up, everything else in your body is super upset. I used to never be a believer that stress itself could cause bloating, but for sure it does. And a lot of times my clients will come to me and be like, dude, like I stuck to my plan all week, I did all my workouts, why is my weight not going down and why am I so bloated? And I'll say, this week I need you to focus on your stress levels and learn how to manage your stress and not let everything get to you, and then come back to me in a week. And like 9 out of 10 times, they stop being bloated, their weight goes down, life is peachy again once they learn to manage their stress, even for just like a week. If you're like continually stressed, or even if you just have a lot of days during the week where you feel stressed and like that stress that like sits on your chest, for sure you could be stressing your body out to the point where it's retaining water because your hormones are just all out of whack. I know some of you guys don't believe me, but I'm telling you, try it out. Manage your stress for a week and see if you don't feel better. You will. Another major reason for bloating, which I feel like is kind of obvious, but in case you haven't realized this, constipation can make you bloated. Oh my God, is she really talking about poop? Yup. I'm talking about poop. There's a million reasons as to why you could be constipated. Water can be a reason. Not enough sleep can be a reason. Stress can be a reason. But a major reason is not getting enough fiber into your diet. I would say most people in America do not think about fiber or try to get fiber into their diets unless their doctor like has them on a steady stream of Metamucil. But the average person should roughly be getting somewhere between like 20 to 35 grams of fiber a day. I used to think that fiber wasn't that big of a deal until I realized that if I even go like 2 days without hitting at least 25 grams of fiber, you know what happens. Also, if you're eating too much fiber, like if you don't realize that the foods that you're eating have a ton of fiber in them and you're getting 40, 50, 60 grams of fiber a day, a lot of people think that too much fiber actually makes you have like diarrhea, but it actually can bloat you. It actually can cause you to be constipated too. So just keep an eye on how much fiber you're getting in a day. Try to be in that healthy range. If you find that you are a lot lower than where you should be with fiber, don't increase it automatically. Go in increments to get your body kind of used to having more fiber into your system. Another thing that can cause bloating is sugar-free, artificial sweeteners, aspartame, sugar alcohols in general. So I am totally not opposed to eating sugar-free things or having sugar-free stuff in your life in general, but you do need to be careful because for some people, in fact most people, their gut has an issue with a lot of sugar-free stuff. Artificial sweeteners are really not digestible by our system, and some people have better luck than others just like letting it pass through their system without wreaking a bunch of havoc. But if you've ever had too much sugar-free stuff in one sitting, you might have like a stomach ache, you might get diarrhea, you might have really bad bloating or gas, and it's because it's just not naturally really digestible by our system. And one thing that you may not be thinking about is sugar-free gum. A lot of the gum that we chew is sugar-free, and so not only is the sugar-free aspect of the gum causing bloating or potentially can cause bloating, but when you're chewing gum, you're essentially chewing and swallowing air. You're like swallowing air bubbles. So what do you think that's gonna cause? You got it, bloating. And also, soda can cause bloating. I'm gonna say soda, even though in the Midwest here we call it pop, but for the sake of you guys not making fun of me, we're gonna call it soda. The soda in general is carbonated, and drinking carbonation is, again, you're swallowing a lot of bubbly stuff. So that in and of itself can cause bloating, but also diet soda, it's sugar-free. So it can cause stomach problems, bloating, a whole field day of stuff. Because of our sensitivities to sugar-free stuff, a lot of people have also found that they have issues digesting protein bars, protein shakes, things of that nature, and that kind of leads me into my next subject of what people might be sensitive to. But just think about all the stuff that you eat in a day and try to realize that a lot of the stuff, especially people who are dieting and eating diet foods, a lot of that stuff is sweetened with artificial sweeteners, so just something to keep an eye on because it can cause really bad bloating. Another thing that I find can cause bloating, which I find a little bit less than I think a lot of people think, but sensitivity to a food group or a food type. A lot of people, probably even most people, have varying degrees of food sensitivities, whether it's to dairy, whether it's to gluten or wheat. Some people just have a problem digesting that kind of stuff, and so it can cause bloating. Now, I'm not suggesting that you completely cut gluten or sugar or dairy or anything like that, but if you think that you're noticing that you're getting bloated after eating certain types of foods, try cutting it out for a couple of weeks and see if you notice you feel any better. I know with some things like dairy and gluten in particular, you pretty much have to cut them out completely before you finally feel like normal, if that's what's causing the sensitivity in your stomach. So just something to keep in mind. In general though, I do not promote just like cutting out whole food groups unless you really honestly think that that's the problem. Another thing that can cause bloating is high levels of sodium or even fluctuating levels of sodium. A lot of the things that we eat are packaged and processed, and pretty much anything packaged or processed is gonna be super high sodium. I know a popular lunch item is a sandwich, and between the dressing, the bread, the lunch meat, the cheese, anything else that you might have on there, your sandwich alone could be like 2,500 milligrams of sodium. That's like pretty much how much sodium someone should have in a day. I mean, I go to like 3,000 milligrams of sodium all the time and it's not a problem for me, but I will notice that if like one day I have 3,000 and then the next day I have like 4,500 and then the following day I have like 1,500, I'll notice that on the day I have a lot of sodium, I'm a lot more bloated. And if I dramatically cut my sodium the next day, then I'll kind of like defluff. I'm never gonna say that you should be on super low sodium ever, ever, ever. Your body needs sodium. I'm just saying the high fluctuation of sodium levels could really kind of confuse your system and cause you to retain more water one day and then not retain water. So pay attention to how much sodium you're actually getting into your diet, and that may tell you why you're bloated. All right, the last thing on my list is cruciferous veggies. And if you don't know what cruciferous is, it's basically any veggie in like the cabbage vegetable family. Little known fact, veggies in the cruciferous veggie family are harder to digest. There's actually components of them that are like almost impossible for your body to digest easily. So if you eat a lot of foods like cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, those are cruciferous veggies and can cause a lot of bloating. I know a lot of people who like to eat really healthy, sometimes this is like a huge staple in your diet is all these green veggies, which is great for like health purposes, but it can take a major toll on your stomach and your digestion and your bloating levels. So if you're someone who has a big problem with bloating, maybe take a look at the type of green vegetables that you're eating, or even like cauliflower, cabbage, etc., and see if you have like a ton of that in your diet, because that can cause bloating. All right, so now I've given you a ton of reasons as to why you might be bloating. So I'm sure like process of elimination is happening in your head and you're realizing like, okay, I'm gonna stop eating 14 servings of Brussels sprouts every day. I'm gonna stop chewing 2 packs of gum every day. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Maybe 7. So what I'm saying is that other than doing some of the things that were kind of obvious from what I originally said, there are a couple other things that you can do to kind of alleviate bloating or at least help with your digestion. One thing that you could do is take a probiotic supplement. Probiotics are a supplement that contain live microorganisms that kind of live in your gut. It like puts good bacteria in your gut. And a lot of the times the reason that we are bloating or having stomach issues is because the level of good and bad bacteria in our gut is like not right. So taking a probiotic helps you get more good bacteria. We like good bacteria. And so it not only only helps with digestion, but apparently it helps with like immunity overall. We like immunity too. So I don't know a ton about probiotics, but I do know that they have some that are kind of like single strain and then some that are multiple strain. And the difference is that the single strain ones have like one type of good bacteria, and the multiple strain ones have like multiple strains of good bacteria. I think the one that I've been taking for the last month, which is a cultural daily probiotic type of a thing, I think it's just single strain, but it's been working great for me. I do have one that's multiple strain that I want to try out in the next month, and the reason that you might want multiple strain is because there could be varying levels of good bacteria in your system, and you may have plenty of one type of good bacteria but not enough of another good bacteria. And so by taking multiple strains, you increase the likelihood that you're adding the kind of bacteria to your gut that your gut needs. How many times have I said bacteria in the last minute? But you get what I mean? I've noticed that ever since I started taking a probiotic that I don't have any lower stomach cramping, I don't have any stomach irritation, I don't have any bloating. I'm regular in the bathroom. So I love it. Another thing that you can consider taking are digestive enzymes. Now, I've never taken digestive enzymes, but I think what they basically are enzymes that help you break down and digest the food that you're eating more properly. Just in case you're low on certain enzymes, basically so that your body has a better chance of absorbing the nutrients from the food that you're eating. I've heard also that digestive enzymes can alleviate symptoms from things like IBS, acid reflux, leaky gut, but if you suffer with any of those issues, please consult your doctor before deciding to just take digestive enzymes, because it may or may not be appropriate for your specific situation. Another thing too to consider is that most probiotics and most digestive enzymes, I believe, are not regulated by the FDA. So do your research and make sure that the probiotic or digestive enzymes that you're getting are coming from a reputable company who's not just going to be filling capsules with sawdust or whatever creepy thing they might put in there. I don't actually know. But yes, I hope this video has been helpful to you. Let me know down below if you know of anything else that can cause bloating that you've heard before or that has been an issue for you in the past. I'd love to hear if I left anything out, or if any of you guys are actually like GI doctors or nutritionists or whatever. I want to hear your input, so let me know in the comments below. But be nice. Be a nice person on YouTube. All right, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and see ya!